Anti-Israel protester charged with threats against California mayor. City council member says to the mayor, "We'll murder you."
No, go to
the first one, not the second one.
Yeah.
Well, watch this here. Tell me if this is healthy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
Patel, I'm here to speak in support of the City Council introducing a ceasefire resolution, specifically the one United Liberation Front has drafted. I don't have faith that you'll do this. You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself. And the thing is, though, it's very clear to me as someone who's been an organizer for the past couple of years that none of you care because you guys don't care about anything happening in Palestine or any other country where oppression occurs because you don't care about the oppression occurring here. And I understand that you guys are all horrible people, but the thing is, 2,300 people being evicted in the last year, those are votes. And you guys, those are votes to win here in Bakersfield. And while you guys parade Gandhi around as a Hindu holiday called Chaitra Navratri, it starts off this week, I remind you that these holidays that we practice, that other people in the global south practice, believe in violent revolution against their oppressors. And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you motherfuckers.
No, that's not the main threat, though. This is coming right now,
for no
PBD.
need other than you don't like when people come and hold you guys accountable for introducing ceasefire resolutions. Because the only escalation in violence has been by you all. And so there's no need to continue. In the last 5 years I've attended city council meetings, there's never been metal detectors. There's never been more cops. The only reason you're doing it is because people actually don't care if you guys don't like them. And they're actually resisting, so you want to criminalize them. So regardless of whether you elect people into office, they'll backstab you, they'll let you die, and for that reason, you guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors, we'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Boom.
Okay, now watch this. Right. Okay.
Next speaker, please.
Well, so this lady in the left, PBD, the lady in the left right now grabs that cop. See the councilwoman all the way in the left? She goes, "Hey, grab her. That's a threat." And look what the judge, the head cop.
Ms. Patel?
Yep.
Ms. Patel?
Yep.
That was a threat.
Boom. Done.
What you said at the end. And so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of it.
Good for you,
Free
Bakersfield.
speech.
Now go to the next video showing how she reacts to it. Watch this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Death, murder people, free speech with consequences.
A deputy public defender entered.
Did she yell out Allah Akbar before
No, but PBD, she has 18 felonies, and she's held on a $1 million bond. So for everybody, I'm 100% free speech. Say whatever you want. Death to America. Murder you in your homes. But you can have it, but it comes with consequences. So good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. Lesson learned.
Maybe she doesn't know who lives in Bakersfield. Maybe she doesn't know what Kern County is all about.
Really?
Maybe she doesn't know Bakersfield and Kern County is one of the biggest conservative counties in all of California.
Yep.
Maybe she doesn't realize who her audience is. Are you out of your flipping mind? Bakersfield is filled, by the way, most people don't know Bakersfield. It's filled with a lot of great people who live in Bakersfield. Tough people, hardworking, but good people live in Bakersfield. But this is the question I was bringing up. Who says this? Who talks like this? Who speaks like this? If you see someone's kid speak out of character, like my daughter right now, Brooklyn, guess what's her famous line right now? What? Here's her famous line. She'll say, "What the heck? What the heck? Daddy, what the heck?"
Where's she getting that from?
Where's she getting? She getting it from me. I say what the heck all the time. So guess what? I'm the one to blame, right?
Yeah.
My kid one day goes to school and the teacher says, such and such, one of these kids used the F word. I said, well, that's not us. I said, but your kid used the S word. I said, no, that one's on me because he's heard me. So he's probably, But moral of the story is people speak that language because it's coming from the community. That is taught. One doesn't wake up one day and say, Mark Bad America or Mark Bad Israel. That doesn't naturally happen, and it's accepted. It's okay language. Somebody needs to stop that because it doesn't make your community look good to say things like that, and it increases the temperature. And a time right now where everybody needs to lower the temperature. We technically, according to, if you go type in definition of world war, I posted this online, on what the definition of world war is. Just go Britannica. Type in definition of world war. Yeah, definition of world war, right? Definition of world war. Zoom in.
A war right there.
Okay? A war involving many large nations in different parts of the world The name is commonly given, and then if you go to lower, it'll break it down for you.
Sounds like we're in one.
We're in one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about what's going on, we're in one right now. But as crazy as this is right now, zoom in. The first one, a war involving many nations of the world is a world war. Hello, that's Britannica. We're in it right now. But as crazy as it is, we haven't hit the tipping point yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the tipping point right now, if Israel all of a sudden says, you want to do this?
Nuke.
No problem.
Yep.
Okay. And didn't Netanyahu get on his plane and leave?
Oh, yeah. He was
Didn't
airborne.
Netanyahu leave?
He was airborne.
And so if at any time, all of a sudden, you see Israel now saying, you want to publicly do this to us, Israel's got a very strong military. If Israel reacts in a way that I think they're capable of reacting, if they do, hello.
It's over.
Well,
It's over. It's over, guys. And he nailed it. If Israel gets pushed to the limit and they go, okay, with Iran, Adam, because guess what? They have some nukes on their shelves. Trust me. I tell people this all the time, guys. I worked at a nuclear missile base. All I kept hearing, if one goes off, pray to whoever you pray to, it's over. Because everybody's going to panic in that moment and everybody's going to launch. I'm telling you right now. And going to, one question I want to ask you. So that girl, she goes up and she says, if you do this, we're going to come to your homes and we're going to murder you. She doesn't make a specific person. She blanketed it, right? Mm-hmm. So when somebody says, and again, free speech, go for it. Keep saying it. Death to America. You're threatening the entire nation. What do you think should happen with that? Is it just the FBI watches them? Is there any consequence to you saying death? Because how can you let that person in society knowing that they want everybody to die?
Well, if I'm running whatever the unit is that arrests her, I want to know who is injecting that belief in you. Because if there's one of you, there's 50 of you. I need to go to the bottom of the person that's inciting that mindset to that community, because you are never alone. If if you have the audacity to talk like, you're not alone.
You're right.
There's many other people around you. Mm-hmm. So we have to find out who's. That's what I be.
Well,
doing.
we have to figure out a way to change the mindset of the extremists and the jihadists. Look, I was hanging out with Muslim friends of mine this weekend, Saudi friends, Sri Lankan friends, and we're having a conversation about what's going on in the world, real impactful conversations. And one of them admitted to me, like, look, I used to go to a mosque that was very extreme, and I'm glad I got out. Now I'm a businessman. I believe in capitalism. I live in London. I live in the UK. But they're out there. And it's, you talked about how, Israel, they love America. The Middle East is so complicated. If we haven't learned anything over the last 20 years, between the Sunnis and the Shiites, who's our allies, who's our enemies? You have ISIS, you have the Syrian, you have Bashar al-Assad, you have Iraq, they're our enemy. Now they're our ally, Iran, they're fighting with Iraq. You got Al-Qaeda, but they're fighting with these, you have no clue who's who. We think Saudis are friend, but it turns out that they have the Wahhabism in there, potentially the attackers from 9/11, we all know that. But the one sure bet that we have here in America is Israel, democratic Western values, so we know that. But just imagine this, 99% of the missiles and the drones were stopped, 99%. Because I think a lot of it was for show, sort of like how America has Hollywood and India has Bollywood, Iran has fucking missiles. So imagine if 90% was caught, or 50%. We'd be having a totally different conversation today. Imagine if only 10% were caught.
What's your point?
The point is that World War III, depending on how Israel's Iron Dome held up, could be having this conversation literally today.
That's why I think if Netanyahu wanted the green light to light up Iran, they officially gave it to him. Seriously. Yeah. Because right now, if he does, no one in the world can say anything. Right now, if he does, he says, you sent how many to us? I'm going to send the exact amount of missiles you sent to me, I'm going to send to you. Okay? Go to Japan, go to China, go to Russia, tell them to build you an Iron Dome. So I'm going to send the same amount of missiles back to you here. Here, go ahead, let's see what happens. Because what's he going to say? Okay, Netanyahu does a press conference. Here's a press conference. Right. I'm sorry for those of you guys that are against us. What's the difference between them sending what they sent to us, but I'm sending it back to them? How are you judging me but not judging them? And, oh, but you started, but I didn't start it. October 7th, you start. This is going to keep going back and forth like this. And I'm only interested in lowering the temperature. That is all I'm interested in. And every day you have to count till this November 5th day comes for people to realize, you know what if let's just say November 5th, Trump gets in, And then whenever the inauguration is going to be what in 2025? You know what the date is, the inauguration date?
I think it's January 20.
Can you type in 2025 January inauguration? January inauguration date, exactly. Whatever the date is. What date does it fall on? Do you have it?
January
2025. You're going to see minutes before that day, Hamas release. I predict January 9th, if Trump gets elected, January 19th, or minutes before he gives a speech, Hamas releases those hostages. By the way, if Biden cannot get them to release the hostages between now and then, Biden will go down in the history books as one of the worst presidents of all time, hanging out with one other guy named Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
They'll be buddies.
That's very reminiscent of that.
Download Monect. Ask questions of people. So many times people DM others on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You never hear anything back. The reason for it is because the other influencer and expert values their time. On Monect, you get to pay to get people to respond back to you. One of the things we put up on Monect app, which I love, you can go to any expert and see how quickly they respond, what percentage of the time, and you'll see some of the guys will be 100% within 1 day. Some of the people will be 70%, 3 days. On Monect, on average, 85% of the time, you get a respond back from people because you're paying for them. And we just announced a Monect contest to come to South Florida and have dinner with us at the legendary Casa D'Angelo restaurant. On the house, we'll pay for it. And then afterwards, we'll go to our cigar lounge, have a bunch of cigars, conversations, poker, domino, and all the Monectors get to collaborate together. And simultaneously, we have a contest that we're running. Here's a contest. Lightweight experts, middleweight experts, heavyweight experts. You got a home team. Lightweight is anybody that's never downloaded the app before and they've never done a Monect before. Middleweight is anybody between 1 to 50. Heavyweight's going to be the ones that have done 51 plus Monects. We already listed out some of the names right now. Dustin, Calvin, NG, Dennis Panev, Ben Pappas, Chris Como. Home team, it's going to be us competing. Then new users. You're not an expert. You just have a lot of questions. Whoever asks the most questions, new signups versus those who are existing users. If you've never used it, you're competing in this category. If you have used it, you're competing in the other category. And every day this Leaders Bulletin updates. The top 3 get invited to come to Florida. You pay your flight, you pay your hotel. We take you out to dinner at Casa. Then we go to the cigar lounge together and spend a few hours to get a number 1 in each category. We'll sit at the head table with me, but top 3 will be invited. And we will most likely do a raffle for each category that will pull somebody out. And again, you'll be with myself, Adam, Vinny, Tom, our crew, and we'll show you around all the other things that we're doing as well. Cannot wait to see you guys there. That QR code on the top right shows the Leaders Bulletin on every day. It'll be updated to see where you rank. If you can go on the Leaders Bulletin, Rob, so people can see it. Every day you'll have an update on Monect's Leaders Bulletin to see who you're competing with, at what level. Again, go to the other QR code for them to download the app so they can get started. Go on Apple, Droid, download the app Monect. Start Monecting today, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have dinner together. This contest starts today. April 16th, ends May 31st, and the dinner will be a date we'll send to the people that qualify in June. So looking forward to seeing you guys compete for this with Monect.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.